Before we jump into the haul video, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Patrick from Trusty Huckster Mercantile. He sent me this really awesome gift that I was not expecting for participating in his series called Trusty's Vintage Deep Dive. Came in this tin here, which I think is really, really cool and ornate looking. And in it, and I think he sent this to me not knowing that I collect these, he had made custom keychains with his logo on it. There's the THM for Trusty Huckster Mercantile. And on the back it says Trusty's Vintage Deep Dive. And it's just a little, like, diving helmet. Like, how cool is that? This is probably one of the best things I've gotten from someone in a long time. I absolutely love this. And I will be treasuring this for a long, long time. So Patrick, thank you so, so much for this. I love it. Ooh, out of focus. And it's just so cool. Like I said, this is one of the coolest things I've gotten from somebody in a long, long time. And I did post this to Instagram if you hadn't seen it already. Just so cool. So please check out Trusty Huckster Mercantile if you're not following him already. I will link him down below in the description box. So thank you again, Patrick, for this awesome piece. And please check out his channel. Moving right along to the haul video, this is the very first item that we're going to look at. It is one of the larger items. You all know I like to do my bigger items first, and then we can show all the small stuff. So I paid $1.50 for this. It's a 1989 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figure. Or at least I think it's from 1989. Let me turn them around and look real quick. Yep, it says 1989 on the back of them. It was made by Playmates Toys by Mirage Studios. He is rather beat up and was played with 31 years ago and up to this point now. This guy I'm probably going to have listed for about $35 on eBay. One's in better condition. We're going for much more. So if this is something that you are interested in, the link to my eBay shop will be down below in the description. And I believe that this is Leonardo because he's got the blue, if I'm not mistaken. So pardon the glare here, but this is the next item that I found this day while thrifting. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but stuff was bought before I went back to work, so this is probably about a 3-week-old haul that I haven't gotten around to sharing with you all and listing the merchandise for. So if you follow me on Instagram, I did post a picture of this picture. It's a photograph of a vintage ice cream parlor. And just look at the details of the place. Like, it just looks so fun with all the different ads and different, like, designs of the place. Like, you got the old soda fountain, the porcelain pumps and dispensers, and just really cool advertising. I got this for $5, and at first I didn't think it was old because if you look at the frame, it's not exactly an old piece. But then when I took it out of the frame just to look at it, there's a poster of a 1980s, I think, Chevy car. So that kind of helped date the frame, but the picture is definitely from the 50s or 60s. When I showed this to my mom when I brought it home, she said this is not allowed to be sold. So, sorry, I wasn't going to sell it anyway, but she said I'm not allowed to sell this. And I have a few pieces that she's already said you're not allowed to sell at all. So, anyway, I just like it, and I do plan on having my own place one day, so I would like to have a vintage ice cream parlor down there in the basement. So I thought this was very fitting, and for $5, couldn't say no to that. So I thought this shirt was really, really fun when I saw it. It's brand new with the tags. I paid $4 for it, and it's by a brand called CSG. Never heard of it before. It's probably one of those brands that Marshalls or TJ Maxx or Ross gets. It's not very expensive, as you can see let me focus on that for you all. The retail on it is $12. If this came from a Marshalls or a TJ Maxx, they probably had it for $7.99, because I've seen shirts like that before. I definitely get the Italian flag look from it, but I also get 80s vibes from it, and that's what attracted me to it, because I like these funky kind of shirts. And I thought it was kind of vintagey looking, so that's why I thought it was necessary to share this with you all. I promise you this is the only piece of clothing I'm sharing with you all in this haul. but I thought it was cool. It also reminded me of a pizza place that used to be at Lake Forest in Gaithersburg years ago called Sparrows. Sbarro. If you don't know what it is, I'll try to link a picture after this clip so you guys can see the company logo. But I know they're gone from that mall. I enjoyed their food. I didn't think it was too bad for what it was. But yeah, definitely a very fun, funky shirt. Something I would definitely wear. So I was out in Pennsylvania, like up near Gettysburg, and I went to a place that we went to many years ago, right before I think I met Treasured Vintage, which was in 2015. And it was different. I mean, there was a lot of glassware, and if that appeals to you, that place would be a honey hole for you guys. If you all are curious, it's called Rebel's Roost Emporium. It's in a town called New Oxford, Pennsylvania. It's kind of like on the border of Gettysburg and Hanover, I believe. So I have one item from a different vendor mall that I got, or like the vendor mall that's right down the road where I applied to, and then three things this from the stores that were up there. So this is the only thing I managed to pick up at the vendor mall. It was originally $14.99, and then the booth was having 20% off. So I only spent about $11 on this. Was it $11? Yeah, because 20% of $14.99 is $3. So it's a new old stock set of tea towels. It's a tea set for a 5-piece. New and sealed in the box, never been used. It's made by Carol Creations. I'll do some research, but I bought this specifically to go in a live sale. And I know I haven't done one since I started working again, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to pick things up for one, because I want to have a fresh bunch of new inventory when I do another sale. So I've got a box already full of stuff that I'm really excited to share with you all the next time I do a sale. So that was the first item. Now this little girl is super sweet, she's very fun, and this is why I bought this bag. Oh, here we go. Isn't this cute little girl? This is the Sunbeam Girl. She's not from the 50s, but she is from 1970. She is made by I don't know if it's gonna show up in here or not. It's made by the Horseman Doll, I think Horseman Doll Company. Yeah, Horseman Doll Company in 1970. She, like I said, came in a bag, like one of those like grab bags for $1.99. So the one doll that came with her is no good. It's one of those Taiwanese porcelain dolls that I have no interest in and are completely worthless. But when I saw her, I said I think I might have to have her. So she was only $1. She's only worth about $25 in the condition she sits in. But I think I'm going to keep her because she's very fun and I think she would look great in like a kitchen. Now, she isn't perfect. She smells like cigarette smoke, so I assume this came out of a very old person's home or somebody who smoked for many years. This right here has turned like white, like yellow from either the cigarette smoke or I don't know what. I've contemplated cleaning it, like maybe taking some bleach to it, but I'm also a little scared to ruin it, so I may just leave her as is. I might have to spray her down with some kind of like a cleaner, something to make her smell good, because she does kind of have a cigarette smell to her. No offense to anybody who does smoke, but yeah, it's pretty gross. So I'll probably just leave her as is. She's got everything. She's got her shoes, she's got her little socks, her roll-up socks, she's got her dress on. And her hair's in really good condition. It's still very soft, but she just reeks like cigarette smoke. So yeah, she's very, very cute. Okay, so the next two items that I got, one came from the vendor mall that I applied to, and the other one came from a thrift store that crazy lamp lady dare not speak the name of, but I decided to check it out anyway. So this is really, really cute. This is a bear, and he is holding, or actually he's not holding, he's sitting next to a uh, oh gosh, what do you call that? A stump. He's sitting next to a stump here. Now, if you all happen to know what this mark is, let me focus on that. It's an M in a square. Is that better for you all? That's an M in a square. You know, anytime I see the lines, ooh, zoom out there. Anytime I see the bottoms of this pottery, I always think of Royal Copley for some reason. But I don't think this is. I know I was just watching one of Jocelyn's videos, and I think she said that based on this kind of footing, it could also be the American Bisque company. If that's even what it was. American Bisque is the name of one of the pottery people back in the day. But yeah, it's either Royal Copley, but that mark, that M mark, is making me think otherwise. He's really cute. Oh yeah, I have the tag on him. They have it marked McCoy Bear Planter. I don't know if it is or not. Let me know in the comments below. It was $5, and then this booth was having 20% off, so I only paid $4 for it. I might do some research. If it's not going for a lot of money on eBay, it's going to go right to a live sale. So I thought he was really cool and definitely worth it. Now this next piece I'm going to share with you all is probably my favorite, and I don't normally ever see these for cheap, so I had to have her. Look at this dainty lady here. It's a head vase, and she has earrings on. Now I think, or maybe she never had a necklace on at one point, but isn't she pretty? Now, again, this is from the thrift store that Jocelyn dare not speak of, but this one had pretty fair prices on most of their things. The section of the store that has, like, that's behind a counter and everything, some of their stuff was a little pricey, but I mean, what's a thrift store to bring people in if you don't have a couple of pricier cool things? So this was in the showcase, and I asked the guy behind the counter if I could see it, and he said sure, of course. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, is this thing gonna be like $20? I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was only $7.99. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with her yet. My mom really does like these, so I might let her have it, or I don't know. Oh, let me take the tag off of here, because it does have a Japan mark on the bottom, but there's nothing to indicate that it was like Inargo or Enesco or Napco ware. But it's just very fun. I know that they made these, I think probably from the 40s up through the 60s. She's pretty elegant and dainty. I know people like to display these. And she's got some paint issues. I mean, you could touch that up with a Sharpie if you wanted to. Or you could just repaint it yourself. The one thing that struck me the most about her was that her eyelashes were not broken. And that's usually a major flaw when you find these sometimes, is that their eyelashes tend to be chipped or missing. So that was a really, really good find on my part, and I don't really mind the chip damage on it because, hey, it's not vintage if it doesn't have some kind of flaw, right? So I thought she was very, very cool. And I know I've said in the past that I'm not really crazy about the ones that are jeweled and look kind of elegant and feminine, but maybe they're starting to grow on me now that I found one. Maybe I just said that because I never thought I would get one of these for a decent price, but hey, I know, things change, people change, and quarantine definitely made me think of what I was picking up and what I wasn't and why I wasn't picking it up. So I don't know what I will do with her, but I definitely was happy to find her for $7.99. I thought that was a steal. So that's it for my little thriftage. So now we can jump into the flea market stuff. So this is probably my favorite piece from this entire haul video. This is a Fenton opalescent glass 3-horn-based ruffled EEP Urn. Popular in the late 40s into the 1960s. It's got a really, really nice look to it. I only paid $8 for it. I've never seen one of these at a thrift store before. I've only seen them in antique shops, antique shows, and like flea markets where they think they're hoity-toity and they price it at antique store prices. But I've never seen one at a store so cheap. The only problem is, I don't know if it's gonna show or not on here. Let's see, where are you? I might have to take them out of here just so I can show you guys the problem. Right here, right here, there's some chips in the glass and it's kind of sharp. Probably just from being taken out of the piece over the years. Because it's glass on glass, so there's nothing in there to, you know, keep them from clacking together. But yeah, it's a really nice piece. And I originally thought it was Fenton Hobnail Moonstone, but I was messaging Scott about this because he is my glass expert, and he's not my glass expert, but he just knows a lot about glassware and a lot more than I do. I knew when I saw this that this was Fenton. I just didn't know the pattern, and I knew it was opalescent, but I thought it was Moonstone, and according to him, Moonstone was actually only made by Anchor Hocking. So, yeah, that answers my question there, and that clearly just shows I know nothing about glass other than the fact that this was Fenton. But like I said, it's such a unique piece, and I would be terrified to ship this because it's so fragile. And I will put the description of what this is right here so you all can see it. And the way that this is spelled, EEP Urn, is spelled EPERGNE. I'm kind of like Bianca, Alex's daughter, Chapter 2 Vintage Co. I will pronounce something the way it is spelled. So it's spelled, again, EPERGNE. So I thought it was pronounced Eperney instead of EEP Urn. Scott told me that's what that is, or how you pronounce that. So that's just kind of how I am. If I see something and I just kind of try to pronounce it the way it's spelled. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. That's kind of just how that is. So yeah, this is a really fun piece, and I think I'm gonna hold on to it. I like I said, it's not something I've ever been able to pick up before because they're either too expensive or just not my style. This is different, but it is very cool nonetheless, and because I paid so little for it, I'm pretty happy with it because it's cool. So that's pretty much all I have for you today, so we can go ahead and conclude.
So that's all I have for you today. Be sure and give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to know when new videos are posted. All of the links to my social media accounts via Instagram are down below as well, where you will see pictures of items to come in future haul videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye guys!